Welcome students. In my last video, I was teaching about the steam formation. That means how steam is formed from liquid state to superheated state, and what are the various stages you come across when the liquid is converted to steam, and the graph between temperature and enthalpy, and how the line will form, the inclined line or horizontal line. So all those things that we have seen in my previous video. In this video, I am going to teach about the various parameters that we use in the formation of steam. So here first thing is states of steam. So what are the different states that we come across during the formation of steam? So there will be obviously three different stages or states. One is wet steam, next one is dry steam. Dry steam is also called as dry saturated steam, and the last one is a superheated steam. So there will be these three different type stages of steam you will come across. So we will see in detail these three different wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam. So coming to this wet steam, if you look at it, so there will be 0% of dry steam will be available. So it will be purely wet. That means 100% wet will be there. So there will not be any dry particles. There will not be any vapor particles or dry particles. So it is defined as two-phase mixture of entertained water molecules and steam at a saturation temperature. That is nothing but steam, wet steam. Coming to this dry steam. So dry saturated or dry steam, so you will come across only dry steam, which is 100% dry. The steam will be dry. There will be no water particles available. So that is what it is given as wet steam is heated. Further, the water molecules in the steam get converted into vapor. Dry steam is the steam at saturated temperature having no water molecules in it. So what does it mean? Dry steam is nothing but if it is 100% dry, or if it is a dry saturated steam, that means there is no water particles. Otherwise 0% of water particles will be available. So that is nothing but dry saturated steam. So now moving on to the superheated steam. It is defined as a steam which is heated beyond its dry state to temperatures higher than its saturation temperature at the given pressure. So what does it mean? So when you reach the dry saturated steam, if you supply superheated steam, it will move on to superheated region. So where the steam which is available in the superheated region is nothing but superheated steam. So this is how we should understand the different types of steams. So one is dry steam, next one is wet steam, dry saturated steam and superheated steam. So once again I'll just conclude that wet steam is nothing but the wet steam means there is a combination of dry particles as well as the wet steam. Moving on to this dry steam, so that it will be completely dry. So 100% dry, there will not be any water particles available. Next, moving on to the superheated steam, so there will be superheated. That means that steam will have lots of power or energy which is available in the steam. That is nothing but superheated steam. Alright. And this we can see in the diagram, that the graph what we have seen earlier, right? So this is the diagram what we have seen earlier. So dry steam, wet steam and superheated steam. So where we can find, we need to identify where exactly the wet steam, dry steam and superheated steam available here. So first one, it is solid state at 0 degrees Celsius and melting point. So leave alone this till melting point, that is latent heat of fusion. So you can neglect it, and we will start from liquid state. At 0 degrees Celsius, 1 kg mass of water, liquid state, there that what you call that formation will start, right? Steam formation will start. So actually what kind of heat you will give? Sensible heat. So during the sensible heating, so the water will be slowly, the temperature will be rising up from 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it will convert from liquid state, water into steam. So 0 degrees Celsius of water and it will be converted into 100 degrees Celsius of steam. So at the end of this 100 degrees Celsius, once it reaches 100 degrees Celsius, so it is called the water will be completely heated up, which is hot water. After reaching 100 degrees Celsius, if we supply latent heat of vaporization slowly to water, hot water will be converted into steam. So this vaporization during that period, vaporization period, the steam which is available is nothing but wet steam. Why we call it as wet steam during this vaporization period? Because there will be a combination of wet steam plus dry steam. Both mixture will be there available. From where? During this vaporization process. So both the combination of wet and dry steam will be available. So that is why it is called as latent heat of vaporization. That is why it is called as wet steam. Wet means it's a combination of both liquid, other is wet steam, and as well as dry steam. So both combination will be there. So that is why it is called as wet steam. So once the vaporization period, that process completes and reaches the maximum state, that is nothing but dry saturated. So that last point, that is nothing but at the end of the vaporization, that point is nothing but dry steam, or it is also called as dry saturated steam. And then when we supply superheating process, if we supply superheat, slowly the temperature will be rising up. That means dry saturated steam will be slowly converted into superheated steam. So till at what region that superheated steam goes, so it is some other point which is there is no limit. So if you supply heat further, it keeps on temperature building up, and the energy will be equipped, and there will be more amount of energy available in the superheated region. Okay, so that is the difference between wet steam, dry steam, and superheated steam. So this is all about the three different states of steam. Now coming to this dryness fraction of steam. So we should understand what is the dryness fraction here. A wet steam has different proportions of water molecules and dry steam. Hence, the quality of wet steam is specified by the dryness fraction, which indicates the amount of dry steam in the given quantity of wet steam and is denoted by X. It is defined as the ratio of mass of dry steam in a given quantity of wet steam to the total mass of wet steam. So this is how the theory goes, the dryness fraction. A very simple way, if you try to understand the dryness fraction. What is the dryness fraction? So the formula will be the mass of dry steam divided by total mass of steam, total mass of steam. So here dry steam means the amount of dry steam which is available in the wet steam divided by total steam. Here total steam means the combination of wet plus dry. So what we can write, so it is denoted by the letter X. So dryness fraction is denoted by the letter X. X is equal to dry steam divided by total steam. That is nothing but dry steam divided by total steam means dry steam plus wet steam. So this will give you the dryness fraction. So always the dryness fraction will be less than 1, because dryness fraction, the numerator, which is the dry steam, will be lesser than total amount of steam. Total amount will be the combination or the mixture of dry steam plus wet steam. So that is the reason always it will be less than 1 dryness fraction, and so it will be somewhere around 0.6 or 0.7, 0.8, it goes on like that. For example, if you try to understand in a better way what the dryness fraction exactly is, if you say dryness fraction is 0.5, that means it is, there will be the mixture of 50% of wet particles and 50% of dry steam is available. That is how it is 0.5. If it is dryness fraction is 100%, then it is completely dry. There is no water particles available. That is why it is called as dry steam. For example, if the dry steam, if the dryness fraction is 0, then there is no dry steam is available, it's pure water. Okay, for example, if it is dryness fraction is 30 percentage, that means 0.3 dryness fraction, then it indicates that 30 percentage of dry steam is available and remaining 70 percentage will be wet steam. So this is how we understand the dryness fraction. Thank you.